All right, let me see here. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Court will resume with the April 26, 2022 docket. And we're here with some jail cases this afternoon. And who are we going to bring in first? Judith Cantu? Miss Cantu will be coming in first. And your client, Miss Cantu, is Miguel Angel
Yes,
Marroquin. Miguel
Judge. I don't
Angel.
know if we have the plea papers. Did we get them, Mike?
I did just in time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, there's about 7 cases, right?
That's correct.
6, 7. And they're all motion to revoke, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And is that Miguel Angel Marroquin?
Yes.
I think so. All right. Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. And there's like 7 cases, Miguel. CR 21-04-993D, CR 21-04-994D, CR 21-11-974D, CR 21-11-975D, CR 21-11-976D, CR 21-11-977D, and finally, CR 21-11-978D. All of the cases are under the name of Miguel Angel Marroquin and State versus Miguel Angel Marroquin, and all cases are motion to revoke or revocation cases. All right. This is a revocation proceeding whereby the Adult Probation Office and DA's office are both alleging that you violated your probation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're, have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
No, sir.
All right. You understand that if the court does find that you did violate your probation, that the court may sentence you to the full amount of punishment that was probated back then when you pled guilty?
Yes, sir.
All right. Has your attorney explained to you what are the conditions of probation that you allegedly violated for each case?
Yes, sir.
And you understand them all pretty well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is your plea, sir? True or not true? That
True.
you at least violated one condition for each of the cases. Are you saying true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you pleading true freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State?
Yes, Judge. State offer waiver of rights, consent to stipulation of evidence, and plea of state motion to revoke post-conviction community supervision as Exhibit 1. State also requests defendant to stipulate that he is the same defendant who was previously placed on probation.
Your Honor, we have no objection as to the introduction of the evidence. We would also agree and stipulate as to venue and jurisdiction, and he's the same person placed on probation as alleged in each of the motions, state's motions to revoke.
All right. Very well. And without objections, so admitted, it'll be the finding of this court that Miguel Angel Marroquin did violate probation on all 7 cases. Recommendations, state, are they all the same or some of them are or what?
The criminal mischief are the same as each other, and all the burglary vehicle are the same with each other.
Oh, okay. Let's do the criminal mischief cases, which is CR 21-04-993 and 994D. Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge. The state recommend $100 fine, court costs 176 days in the Delaware County Jail, credit for 176 days, Judge.
176?
Yes, Judge.
For 176 for both cases, right?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Court will hereby waive the fine and court costs. Therefore, 176 for 176, it'll be a time served on this 2 here. And then we'll jump over to the other 5. Are they all identical as well, sir?
Yes, Judge. They are identical, Judge.
And what is it?
State recommend $100 fine, court costs 90 days in the Delaware County Jail, credit for 90 days.
90 for 90, okay, for each case, right, sir?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, on CR 21-11-974, 75, 76, 77, and 78D, all of them, State of Texas versus Miguel Angel Marroquin. For each case, court will waive the fine and court costs. It'll be 90 days in jail, credit for 90 days served. Therefore, time served for all cases. And
Thank
Ms.
you, Your Honor.
Is that the understanding, Ms. Cantu?
That is our understanding. Thank you.
All right, and that's the way it happened. It'll be a time served for all 7 cases. So you're excused, okay, sir? Have a great day.
Thank
Hey,
you,
sir.
Judge. Have a great day.
Am I gonna be leaving today? Am I gonna leave today?
If you have nothing else holding you, you might leave today, late today, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
Should be
All right,
released.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Contreras, number 18 and 19.
Mr. Jesse Contreras.
Your Honor, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Contreras. I believe your client is Juan Manuel Meraz,
Yes, Your Honor, he's present ready for the 2 pleas. He's got 2 cases.
and it'll be
Before
2
this
please.
court.
All right, there you go. 2 please. There you go.
He'll be a Spanish speaker, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right. You ready to proceed? All right, let me see here. CR 22-02-43D, State versus Juan Manuel Meraz. That is an assault case, Class A misdemeanor. And then CR 22-02-944D, Juan Manuel Meraz, Class A, interfering with the emergency request for assistance. So both cases are Class A misdemeanors. Each case carries a potential penalty of up to a year in jail and not more than a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Let me first swear him in, okay?
Levanta tu mano derecha, Juan.
You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Juras que el testimonio que vas a dar es la verdad, solamente la verdad y nada más que la verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
And you can put your hand down.
Puedes bajar tu mano. En el primer caso, CR 22-02-943D, el estado de Texas contra Juan Manuel Meraz. Esa es una clase A, es asalto. En el segundo caso, CR 22-02-944D, el estado de Texas contra Juan Manuel Meraz. Esa es también una clase A, es interferir con llamada de emergencia o para pedir asistencia. Los dos son una clase A, bajo la ley es no más de una multa de $4,000 y no más de 1 año en la cárcel. La pregunta del juez es, ¿comprendes eso, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
You understand that for each case, you're entitled to a jury trial, you're entitled to an appeal, and that you waived those 2 rights?
Juan, ¿y comprendes tú que para cada caso tienes el derecho de que un jurado oiga tu caso? También tienes el derecho de apelar. ¿Es correcto que tú has rechazado esos derechos? Esos son los documentos que tú le firmaste a tu abogado. ¿Es correcto eso, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
¿Alguna vez te han declarado que estés mentalmente incompetente?
No.
No.
You understand that the court does not have to follow the recommendations after you give a plea?
¿Y comprendes tú que la corte no tiene que seguir la recomendación después de que tú te declares culpable? ¿Comprendes eso, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, that you plead guilty in your case may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to this country, or the denial of naturalization of the federal law?
Y comprendes tú que si tú te declaras culpable y no eres ciudadano de este país, eso puede resultar en deportación, exclusión o que te nieguen la entrada a este país bajo leyes federales. ¿Comprendes eso, sí o no? Yes.
And was that explained to you by your attorney?
¿Y eso se te explicó a ti por tu abogado?
Sí.
Yes.
And how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
¿Y cómo te declaras? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily in both cases?
¿Y te estás declarando culpable libremente en los 2 casos?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, state.
State offer plea document and offense report as Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant right of appeal as Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14, disclosure as Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and need assessment as Exhibit 4. State would also request defense counsel to stipulate the venue and jurisdiction of the honorable court, and to also stipulate that evidence has been filed sufficient to court plead guilty.
Your Honor, there's no objections, Your Honor. We so agree to stipulate as to both stipulations mentioned by the state of Texas.
And without objection, so admitted. It'll be the judgment of the court. The defendant is guilty as charged on both cause numbers. Recommendations, are they identical, Mr. Nguyen?
They are identical except for one has an open restitution.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, Judge, the state recommends $200 fine, court costs, 1 year in Delaware County Jail, probated for 16 months, the anger management by Mujer, 20 commercial hours, the defendant to stay away from the victim, Olga Garcia, and for the assault case, there's open restitution to the same victim, Judge.
Olga Garcia, I heard.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so Okay, so both cases, 200 plus court costs, and then 1 year over 16 months.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Anger management, 20 hours community. Stay away from Olga Garcia. Okay, Mr. Contreras, on the first case, it'll be $100 fine plus court costs. I'm sorry, CR 2202-943D. $100 fine plus court costs, 1 year in jail, and then placed on 16 months probation. Anger management, no community hours, that'll be waived. And stay away from Olga Garcia.
Your Honor,
Second case. Yes.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
he's been locked up for more than 36, 37 days, Your Honor. So
Okay.
if you can consider that in reference
All
to
right.
the
All right, we can
fines
make it
and court costs.
no fine, no court costs. But and then the second one, also no fine, no court costs. 1 year in jail, provided for 16 months. Anger management, no community hours. Stay away
And-
from Olga Garcia.
Judge, just to be clear, the anger management is the anger management by Mujer Unidas. Yes?
That's right, the anger management, which is Mujeres Unidas. Okay?
Juan, en el caso tuyo, el juez te quitó la multa y te quitó los costos
Right.
de cortes en los dos casos, no tienes que pagar nada, vas a estar en 16 meses de libertad condicional, tienes que tomar una clase de alcohol con Mujeres Unidas y también te quitó las horas de servicio a la comunidad. Es importante de que no tengas contacto con Olga García, la víctima en este caso, y vas a regresar el día 17 de mayo a las 11 de la mañana a ver si hay daños, si ella tuvo que ir al hospital con el doctor y hay daños, entonces va a ser responsable para liquidar esos pagos, ese pago.
So the restitution hearing is for May 17th, 11 a.m. Restitution.
Your Honor, there'll be one supervisory fee.
Yes, sir, one fee
Okay, yeah, that's all. that I
on the
got
first
there.
one fee on the first one. All right, they're gonna
Yes,
run concurrent, and so therefore, we'll see everybody again on May 17th. Okay, sir?
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate
All
it.
right, thank
Gracias,
you.
Juan.
Thank you. You may be excused. Thank you.
Have a good afternoon, Judge.
Thank you. You too.
Mr. Ortegon, he's got number 1 and number 2.
One and number 2, Mr. Ortegon. It'll be a plea on just on one, right, Mike?
Let me see, Judge.
No, number 2, I think.
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
Yeah, plea. The other one's gonna be potential dismissal. All right.
Oh, and he
I think,
also
Judge,
has-
I think 3 of them, Judge.
Yeah,
Oh,
number
there's 3.
12 and number 13 also.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let me see.
Yeah, he has number 1, number 2,
Uh-huh.
and number 12,
Uh-huh.
and number 13.
12 and 13
There's
is
4.
4.
All right. Orlando Gonzalez, the same person, right? Yeah. So it's 4 cases, state, with a plea on 3 and 1 dismissal?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. Mr. Ortegon, can you hear me, sir?
He's muted.
He's muted. All right. 12 and 13. Mhm. And Mr. Ortegon needs to unmute.
Judge, are you calling my case?
Yes, sir. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. We're ready.
Okay. I think your client has 4 cases. It'll be a plea on 3 and 1 dismissal. Does that sound right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And
Orlando Gonzalez.
Orlando Gonzalez. Okay, Orlando Gonzalez. Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. There'll be 3 cases you're going to plead to, Orlando, and then 1 dismissal. First one, CR 21-00176D. That'll be assault, Class A misdemeanor. CR 22-00617D. That'll be theft, Class B misdemeanor. And CR 22-00967D. Theft, Class B misdemeanor. On the assault, the first case, that carries a potential penalty of up to a year in jail and not more than a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Each of the Class B, the other 2 cases, each case carries a potential penalty of up to 180 days in jail and not more than a $2,000 fine upon conviction. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. And you understand that you're entitled to a jury trial. You're entitled to an appeal. Did you waive those 2 rights?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
No, sir.
You understand that the court does not have to follow the recommendations after you give a plea?
Yes, sir.
And what is your plea, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily on all three cases?
Yes, sir.
All right, state.
Yes, Judge. State offer plea document and offense report as Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant right of appeal as Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14, disclosure as Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and need assessment as Exhibit 4. State would also request defense counsel to stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court, and to also stipulate that evidence has been filed sufficient to cover plea guilty.
No objection, Your Honor. We so agree to stipulate to venue jurisdiction.
Without objection, so admitted. It'll be the judgment of the court. The defendant is guilty as charged on all three cause numbers. Recommendations state, any of them identical?
No, Judge, unfortunately not.
Okay, CR 21-00176D, the assault case. Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge. The state recommend $100 fine, court costs, 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail, probably for 14 months, an anger management course. The defendant should stay away from the victim, Sonia Gonzalez, and MI caseload, Judge.
Okay, after Sonia Gonzalez, what was it again?
In my case,
Mental impact.
Judge,
Oh,
Judge,
okay, I got you.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
Being that because this is their family, can we do a no harm instead of staying away?
No harmful contact, no harmful
Yeah,
contact.
Yes,
Yeah.
Judge.
No harmful contact with Sonia Gonzalez. Okay. All right. So that's the first one. And now to run concurrent with CR 22-00617D. Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge. The state recommend $100 fine, court costs, 180 days in the Hidalgo County Jail, probably for 1 year, a theft course, $151.17 restitution to Vera King O Meats and MI caseload also, Judge.
Vera King Meats, I think, right? Who it is? Okay.
O
On this one, Mr. Ortega, no fine, no court cost, no fee. And to run concurrent with the first one, okay?
Yes, sir.
And of course, the 157.17 restitution. And then CR 22-00967D. Yes, sir. State.
Yes, Judge. The state recommend $100 fine, court costs, 180 days in the Hidalgo County Jail, probably for 1 year, a theft course, $30 restitution to Cash American Pawn of Edinburgh, and the MI caseload, Judge.
Okay. On this third case, Mr. Ortega, no fine, no court costs, no fees.
what was the amount on the restitution?
Restitution was $30.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah. And so they're going to run concurrent. And then there's a fourth case, right, State?
Yes, Judge. On CR 20-07054D, Judge, that will be dismissed with the aforementioned pleas, Judge.
Court will hereby dismiss CR 20-07054D, Orlando Gonzalez, case dismissed. All right, Mr. Ortega, anything else?
Oh, Judge, that the cases will be running concurrent with the 206 District Court. And so once the two cases merge, that way there's only one supervisory fee.
Correct. That's just one. Yeah, you're right. Once they merge with the felony case, there will be only one fee. You're right.
Okay, Judge.
All right, sir. You may be excused, Mr. Gonzalez. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you,
So
Judge.
I'm-
Good seeing you.
So I'm not gonna be leaving today into my next court date, or what's going on?
We have court on Monday, okay?
All right.
Okay,
Thanks.
good luck with that next case. Okay, thank you all.
Thank
may
you,
be
Judge.
excused. Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
PD,
PD? Okay. PD, that'll be, who you gonna have? Rigoberto Lopez?
yes, he's got number 5.
Huh?
He's got number 11
Rigoberto
and
Lopez,
number 16.
5'11",
He was the one from last time.
5'11", and what, 16?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Yes, sir, Mr. Lopez, are you ready on yours?
I am ready. I don't know if my client's ready, Judge. I was at the jail earlier today, last week. He was combative. That's why they didn't bring him in. When I went to the jail a couple hours ago, he was in restraints. So I was not able to talk to him to clarify everything. So I don't know if he's willing to go
Okay.
forward right now, Judge.
Well, he's sitting down right now, so maybe we might go forward. There's 3 cases. It'll be a plea on all 3. I know, wait a minute. But
On 2 of them, Judge.
yes, it'll be a plea on 2, I think 11 and 16 either. And then potential dismissal on number 5 on Mr. Rigoberto Ricardo Lopez. All right. Can you hear me, Mr. Lopez?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I'd like to apologize for being here, sir.
Okay. Apologies accepted. Okay, you okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lopez, you have two cases. I'm sorry, there's three, but you're gonna plead only on two, and then the other one's gonna get dismissed, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, here comes the pleas. CR 22-000-11D, Rigoberto Lopez, Class B misdemeanor, mischief. CR 22-02-926D, Rigoberto Lopez, Class B, also criminal mischief. Each case is a Class B misdemeanor. Each case carries a potential penalty of up to 180 days in jail and not more than a $2,000 fine upon conviction. You understand that?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And you understand that you're entitled to a jury trial, you're entitled to an appeal, and that you waived those two rights?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
Not competent, but I do have schizophrenia and bipolar, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Lopez, you declare that he's competent to stand trial?
He is competent. He does have those issues, Judge, but he does understand, and he's
Okay, he understands.
the document, Your Honor.
Yes, sir, I'm
Right.
competent, sir.
Okay, great. And you understand that the court does not have to follow the recommendations that the state's going to say, Polago, in a while. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And how do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
I think I was instructed guilty, sir. But sir, I don't know what did I break or what?
Okay. First of all,
I guess guilty, sir. Guilty.
Okay. So are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir. I think I already signed the defendant papers as well.
There you go. You're right. State?
Yes, Judge. State offer plea document and official report as Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant right of appeal as Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14, disclosure as Exhibit 3. State would also request defense counsel to stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of the report, and to also stipulate that evidence has been filed sufficient to corporately guilty.
No objection to the exhibits offered. We stipulate to venue jurisdiction, and we also stipulate to the documents being sufficient, Your Honor.
And without objection, so admitted. It will be the judgment of the court that Rigoberto Lopez is guilty as charged on those two cause numbers, CR 22-000-11D, CR 22-02-926D. And recommendations are the same by any chance?
They're identical as in time served, Judge, but different amount of days.
Go ahead.
Okay, Judge, for CR 22-000-11D, Judge, the state recommend $100 fine, court costs, 13 days in the Northern County Jail, credit for 13 days.
Okay, on this one, no fine, no court costs, 13 days in jail, credit for 13 times served. The second case, CR 22-02-926D.
Yes, Judge, the state recommend $100 fine, court costs, 36 days in the Northern County Jail, credit for 36 days.
Also, no fine, no court costs, 36 days in jail, credit for 36 days served. It'll be a time served also. And the third case, state?
Yes, on CR 21-115-26D, Judge, that will be dismissed with the aforementioned pleas.
Okay, the third case is going to get dismissed. That'll be CR 21-11-526D, State versus Rigoberto Lopez. This case is hereby dismissed. All right, one case got dismissed, time served on the other two, Mr. Lopez. That'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to say something to the court.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank you, sir, and thank the Hidalgo County system. And I promise you to go against prison gangs, sir.
All right. Thank
And
you
I
so
will
much.
defeat them. I will defeat them by converting them. I mean, inside the prison system, I'll get them, sir.
Okay.
By the Tango, the Bayuco, inside prison, I'll get them confirmed like my.
Okay, thank you very much. Your excuse. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Anything else, Mr. Lopez?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, your excuse. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, man. That'll be.
No, actually, we have two more bodies, Keith Gutierrez and Apollinar Hernandez. Attorney Greg Trevino called the court earlier that he is in federal court and that he is running late.
Okay.
So we're just waiting for him to log on.
Okay, we have Keith Gutierrez, however, and Felipe Martinez.
No, Apollinar Hernandez.
I'm sorry.
Number 17. 14, 15, and 17.
Okay, what about this one?
It's the same one.
Felipe Martinez and Keith
Yes.
Gutierrez. So there's three cases?
Yes.
There's three more cases, but the attorneys haven't shown up yet because they're supposed to be, I believe, in federal court or something.
Greg Trevino is going to stand in for Nereida.
Okay,
Martinez.
okay. But Greg is saying federal court.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Jill, we're waiting on 3 more, but we're waiting on the attorneys.
Okay,
We'll take a real brief recess. We'll be here on the waiting for him to check in.
okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right. All right, let me see here. Court will resume with the April 26, 2022 docket. And we have Mr. Greg Trevino. And he has got two individuals. One of them is Keith Ashley Gutierrez. Keith Gutierrez, that'll be a jail case. And Mr. Trevino, you need to unmute, sir.
Unmute. Okay, thank you, Judge. Gregorio Trevino for Keith Gutierrez, Judge.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. CR 2202-713D, Keith Ashley Gutierrez. Your charge, POM Class B misdemeanor. It carries a potential penalty of up to 180 days in jail and not more than a $2,000 fine upon conviction. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're entitled to a jury trial. You're entitled to an appeal. Did you waive those two rights?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
No, sir.
You understand that the court does not have to follow the recommendation after you give a plea?
Yes, sir.
And what is your plea, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
All right, state.
Yes, Judge. State offer plea document and offense report as Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant right of appeal as Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14, disclosure as Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and need assessment as Exhibit 4. They would also request defense counsel to stipulate in a venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and to also stipulate that evidence has been filed sufficient to cover plea guilty.
No objection, Your Honor, to the exhibits. Agree to and stipulated to venue and jurisdiction. He is the same defendant as charged.
And without objection, so admitted. It'll be the judgment of the court. The defendant is guilty as charged. And recommendation, state?
Yes, Judge. It's going to be an open plea, Judge.
Okay.
The state recommend $100 fine, court costs, 4 months deferred, a drug education course, and 20 community service hours.
Your Honor, we filed an alternative open plea documents for time served. The recommendation was 60 days. It was filed late this morning or perhaps even at noon for 42 days time served, Your Honor, and for consideration on the court costs and the and all fees, Your Honor.
Okay, but it is 42 days?
Yes, Your Honor, 42 days in jail as of today.
I have 44.
44
Okay.
as of today, Your Honor. Even
okay.
Thank you, Mike.
We'll make it no fine, no court cost, 44 days in jail. Credit for 44 days served. It'll be a time served for Mr. Gutierrez. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, you're excused. Thank you, sir. Time served.
Your
Okay.
Honor, one more item on him. I just wanted to ask Mr. Nguyen about that if I could get I didn't see it in the evidence file, Mike, but the evidence that was taken from him includes a laptop and a microphone and all of that. And if it isn't in my evidence packet, if you would be kind enough to re-invite me to share the evidence so that I can obtain that.
Sure. If you could send me an email and I'll follow up with you on it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mike.
No problem.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. You're excused. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then we have Felipe Martinez.
Gregorio Trevino for Martinez, Your Honor.
All right. That'll be Felipe Silva Martinez, CR 2202-762D. Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Your charge, Class B misdemeanor theft, carries a potential penalty of up to 180 days in jail and not more than a $2,000 fine upon conviction. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're entitled to a jury trial. You're entitled to an appeal. And did you waive those two rights?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent? You understand that the court does not have to follow the recommendation when you give a plea?
Yes.
And what is your plea, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Freely.
All right. State?
Yes, Judge. State offer plea document and offense report as Exhibit 1, notification and certification of different right of appeal as Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14, disclosure as Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and need assessment as Exhibit 4. State would also request defense counsel to stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court, and to also stipulate that evidence has been filed sufficient to culpably plead guilty.
No objection, Your Honor, to the exhibits. So agreed to stipulated on venue and jurisdiction, and he is the same defendant as charged.
And without objection, so admitted. It will be the judgment of the court. The defendant is guilty as charged. And our recommendation, State?
Yes, Judge. The state recommend $200 fine, court costs, 180 days in the Hidalgo County Jail, probably for 1 year, a theft course, 20 commercial hours, open restitution to stripes, and the defendant to stay away from stripes located at 1524 East Nolana Loop, FAR, Texas, 78577, Judge.
1524 East Nolana, FAR, Texas, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So we need a date. It'll be May the 17th.
At 11.
It'll be May 17th at 11 o'clock for the restitution hearing, just in case there's restitution. And the defendant is to stay away from the stripes at 1524 East Nolana, FAR, Texas. Meanwhile, court will hereby waive the fine and court costs, 180 over 1 year, 1 year probation, and then no community hours. That'll be waived. Did you get that, Mr. Trevino? Did you get it, Mr. Trevino? It'll be the 1 year probation. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Lopez, you'll be on probation for 1 year. No fine, no court costs. I'm sorry, did I say Lopez? It's Mr. Martinez, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Martinez. No fine, no court costs, 180 over 1 year probation, a theft course, no community hours, but open restitution for a stripe store. And we're gonna come back on May 17th, 11 a.m. just to see if there's restitution or not, okay? All right, good luck with your probation.
Thank you,
Your
Your Honor.
excuse. Your excuse. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, also, I will be standing in for Ms. Nereida Martinez, Your Honor, on her plea.
Okay. That's the last one?
That's number 17.
I think the last one here is Apollinar Hernandez. Apollinar Hernandez.
He'll be a Spanish speaker, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And of course, the attorney of record is Nereida Morales Martinez, but Mr. Greg Trevino will be standing in for her. All right, Mr. Hernandez, please raise your right hand.
Señor Hernández, por favor, levante su mano derecha.
You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Usted jura que el testimonio que va a dar es la verdad, solamente la verdad y nada más que la verdad?
Sí, la verdad.
Yes, the truth.
And you can put your hand down.
Puede bajar su mano.
CR 22-02-927, the Apollinar Hernandez, Class B misdemeanor, public intoxication, 3 or more. And that carries a potential penalty of up to 180 days in jail and not more than a $2,000 fine upon conviction. You understand that?
Señor Hernández, en el caso de usted, CR 2202927D, el estado de Texas contra Apollinar Hernández, a usted lo acusan de intoxicación pública, que es una clase B. Bajo la ley es no más de una multa de $2,000 y no más de 6 meses en la cárcel. La pregunta es, ¿usted comprende eso sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
And you understand that you're entitled to a jury trial, you're entitled to an appeal, and that you waived those 2 rights?
¿Comprende usted que usted tiene el derecho de que un jurado oiga su caso y también tiene el derecho de apelar? Pero es correcto que usted ha rechazado esos 2 derechos.
Sí.
Yes.
Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent?
¿Alguna vez lo han declarado que esté mentalmente incompetente?
Sí.
¿Por un
No.
doctor?
Okay.
No.
You understand that the court does not have to follow the recommendation?
¿Comprende usted que la corte no tiene que seguir la recomendación que su abogada le explicó?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. And are you a U.S. citizen, Mr. Hernandez?
Señor Hernández, ¿usted es ciudadano americano?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
¿Y cómo se declara, señor? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente?
Sí.
Yes.
State.
Yes, Judge. State offer plea document and offense report as stated with 1, notification and certification of defendant right of appeal as stated with 2, waiver of Article 39.14 disclosure as stated with 3. State would also request defense counsel to stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of the Honorable Court and to also stipulate that evidence has been filed sufficient to culpably plead guilty.
No objection, Your Honor. So agreed to and stipulated to, and he is the same defendant, Your Honor, as being charged.
Without objection, so admitted. It'll be the judgment of the court. The defendant is guilty as charged. Recommendation, State.
Yes, Judge. The state recommend $100 fine, court costs, 37 days in the Delaware County Jail, credit for 37 days, Judge.
Court will hereby waive the fine and court costs. Therefore, 30 days in jail for 30 days served. It'll be a time served.
Señor Hernández, en el caso de usted le quitó la multa y los costos de corte, le dio tiempo servido, 37 días, crédito por 37 días.
No fine, no court costs.
No multa y no costos de corte.
Okay, sir. That'll do it.
Suerte.
Thank you. You're excused. Bye-bye.
Se puede retirar.
Mr. Trevino, thank you so
May I
much.
be excused?
You may be excused. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
standing
Judge.
in
Have
for
a
Ms.
good day.
Martinez. Have a great day,
Yeah.
sir.
Your Honor, that's all we have. We may be excused.
You may be